Okay, guys, welcome back to Let's Get Freaky podcast. Very excited for our guest tonight. We welcome Gary W. White to the Freaky fam. Gary, how are you, brother man? Welcome to the show.
Fantastic, Tommy. Thank you. I appreciate you having me, giving me the time.
No, man, it's a pleasure. I'm excited. You were saying before that you've been on a rough roller coaster. You know, you've had a tough time. You've gone through some battles, but you've come through the other end, man, and you're helping people now, and that is cool. So I'm excited to hear your experiences and basically go to the start for you. You're in. You don't have to tell us exactly where you are, but you're in the West Coast. Is that correct? You're on the West Coast.
Northern California.
Nice, man. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Awesome,
grew up
man.
in San Francisco Bay Area is where I grew up at, Tommy.
Okay, cool.
I moved around a bit, like I mentioned earlier, talking. I was homeless for 10 years, lived in the back of a truck. And that's when all this really started. Well, it really started when I was 5 years old. A lot of people, so many people say, yeah, my first encounter, I was 5 years old. They came into my room. I could hear them scuttling around in my room. I'm calling for my mom, freaking out. And she's all, you're just dreaming. You're just dreaming. No, no, I'm not dreaming. I'm awake. They disappeared till I was probably in my late 20s. And I was working for a company with a friend. And we went back to my apartment. We hung out, and I was driving him home. And we saw it was right in the middle of Silicon Valley, right where all this computer, Apple, and all this was created. And we're driving, and I'm talking to this dude, and I'm driving. He's in the passenger seat. I look over because he's not responding. I look over, and his jaws drop, and he's looking at this. This thing's like the size of 2, 3 shopping malls, big saucer mothership, just hanging low and barely spinning like this. And I'm all, damn, dude, it's a UFO. He's all, no, it's not. He starts getting scared, Tommy. And I'm all, dude, that's a UFO. What else can that be, man? And he's all, no, it's not. I want to go home. I want to go home. And I get this feeling that I'm being watched. I go, they know we see this thing and are driving at it. And I look, and there's 2 of them. They're spinning faster above each side of my car, following us towards this thing. So we're driving. He's getting scared. There's a guy walking across the street with a bike, and I'm yelling at him and go, dude, can't you see this thing? And this guy's all, you're out of it, dude. There's something wrong with you. He couldn't see it. Me and the dude in the car could see it. Later down the road, they told me that they do this within our mind. There could be 3 of us standing there. 2 of us see it. 1 of us don't. They get in your head and they could shut it off where you can't see them.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'm driving towards it, and I feel them. They see me watching this thing, and he's freaking out. He's curled up, fetal position, and getting very emotional. Take me home. So I turn around. It's gone. The 2 are gone. The 1's gone. I didn't sleep for 2 nights. I was all, wow, these fucking UFO. Excuse the language, man. If I
That's
if I
okay.
drop, let me know because
That's okay.
that.
That's it.
I,
You can swear on Let's Get Freaky. We don't mind. We're free
oh,
speech over here, brother. We don't mind, man. I know.
I'm a
I know.
heavy metal bass player for years, dude. I played in bands, so I got that. But,
I know they say in the UK that free speech is not a thing anymore, but I'm keeping it alive. So you can on this show, you can say what you want.
I'm not making it in an offensive way. It's again used as expression. A couple UFO groups I worked in, they said, no, don't let people cuss. I said, dude, you come face to face with these and it's
Yeah,
emotional. What the fuck is that? It happens. It's a
100%,
very
man. It's a natural thing, I think, to swear sometimes.
yeah.
So,
So
so
anyway,
how big
you
were
know,
these crafts that you saw?
that one, it was the size of, I would say, 3 shopping malls. It was huge. It was like we're underneath it. You can't see out from underneath it. It was that big. Once we got that close, you can't really see around it. I mean, shopping mall, that's big.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Say,
huge.
let's say 4 football fields.
So this was a mothership.
Yeah, indeed, mothership, absolutely. They later on down the road, once I made this is before I made contact with them. What they basically said that was like a light switch. They said you got, I don't know what you want to call it, a program inside of you. Something will happen. You will see them. It will switch this on. It sets you on your true life course. with them, how you're interacting with them. So it happened, and yeah, it rocked my world. I'm drawing aliens, I'm reading books on anything I could get and absorb about UFOs, aliens, reincarnation, spirituality. Because before that, Tommy, I wasn't religious. I wasn't. I didn't go to church. I went to church maybe once for a wedding. You know, I played in bands. You know, I got jacked up. You know, um, it set me on a path where I started reading a lot about different spiritual, what's going on. Yeah, I've never thought about it. Um, that went on for a few years, and I ended up the partying scene and all that got the better of me. I ended up living in the back of a truck. I was homeless, and it's in San Francisco Bay Area for about 10 years, most of the 90s. I was living in the back of a truck, and I started going through near-death experiences. It felt like my brain's flopping upside down in my head and I'm dying. It's like, it's terrifying. Very, very scary. One night it happened bad to where I climbed in the back of this truck. Tommy, I said, this is it. I'm dying. This is my death. I'm going to lay down right now. They're going to find me dead in this truck. So I lay down face first, and voice pops in and starts telling me about a creative band of energy that surrounds our planet. Okay. They say we as humans, tap into this band of creativity. It's like black and white. It comes out of us colored with our personality. So they showed me a song that I had written, and they showed me a song by the band Rage Against the Machine, Running in the Bulls on Parade. It's like the blah, blah, chicka, chicka, blah, blah, chicka, chicka. And they're similar, but they're different. They're saying, see, it came out of you with your personality colored like this. It came out of this guy coming out of his personality like this. I'm all, wow, this is interesting. So they start giving me music, and they're giving me an original song. I asked for violins and cellos come in. Okay, I asked for this. They give me this, drums. Jimi Hendrix. Okay, Jimi Hendrix starts playing. It's like, wow, that sounds just like Hendrix. I asked for a vocal line, and I start singing through my mouth, face first, in where I slept. And this went on for a couple of hours, and I had to get up for some odd reason. I got up, and they were gone. And the voice gone just instantly like that. And I'm all, wow, I've tried for months to get this back. How can I communicate with this? Whatever it was. I didn't put nothing together with UFOs at this point. I've pretty much forgotten about that. I mean, you don't forget about it, but you're not put one together. So about 9 months later, happens again, laying in the back of this truck, and the boy said, hey, Gary, and they're going and going and going. And I go, I got to get up. And I answer the call to nature and do my thing. And I get up, and you're going to be gone again. And they said, we've been with you since you're a little boy. We will be with you the rest of your life. I'm all, okay. Last time you weren't, but I got to go. So I get up, and I'm doing my thing, going to the bathroom, and they tell me, you need to get back in your truck because the cop's coming, cop car. So I climb in the back of this truck. I'm peeking out my little crack. Sure enough, there goes a cop car. Oh, wow. That was freaking amazing. What have I connected into here? And I go, look, I'm getting tired. I got to go to sleep. You're going to be gone. And they said, no, we're with you the rest of your life. We will be here the rest of your life. So I go to sleep. I wake up. Good morning, Gary. How are you? And they just start talking. Explain. They're talking about reincarnation, Hinduism, Buddhism, this and that and the other. And they're answering questions for friends of mine. It went on for probably about 3 days to where I finally said, hey, man, I need my mind back. This is just like bombarding with information. They said, okay, we're going to chill out. We'll answer your questions. And that's what they did. So I'm living in the back of this truck, and I'm going, wow, I got psychic abilities. I'm answering, and people are going, dude. And at this time, they spoke through me, like trance channeling, where they will speak right through you. I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm considering what they're saying, and they're talking to my friend next to me and explaining to him about things in India when he grew up in his family and the dynamic and how he was treated and things I don't know. Hey, dude, I'm a high school dropout. Played in metal bands and partied, and there's a couple people are going, dude, I don't mean this as an insult, but whatever this is that's talking through you is like super intelligent. I'm going, dude, I know, I feel them. And the feeling, I say, is nothing short of angelic. when they're communicating to me through me. It's a great feeling. It's unexplainable, Tommy. So
Mhm.
this goes on, and I'm doing this, and one night I find a book. I love to read. So I find this book. And it's on a race of aliens that they look human, okay? And then all of a sudden they start appearing out of society. This famous person is an alien, and we didn't know it. This person is an alien. We didn't know it. And they have this artwork, and people would look at this artwork and become mesmerized by it. Some of them would do weird, freaky things. Some of them would get intelligence. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting book. And I'm reading this book, and I'm laying in the back of this truck. It's during the day, and something makes me look up at a cloud, and I see a little wireframe of an alien, of a UFO. Won't out, won't back in. I'm like, the fuck? Look at it. I go, what the hell? They go, won't again. And they go, this is us. This is who's communicating with you. We're not human. And that's when it just really blew the door open.
Did this
Excuse me.
did this start once you'd seen that mothership? Was this like straight after that or
Yes, it was about 5 years later,
okay.
five, six
So it wasn't
years.
as straight after, but
Next day, no. No, I had friends give me, dude, you're seeing the little green man and making fun of me and this and that. And I mean, good friends of mine, just joking. You know what I mean? They
yeah.
weren't serious. I mean, dude, I've been put down, insulted. I've
Oh
been through a
man.
lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Once this voice started talking to me and sharing information, I got my best friend in high school turned me on to a little computer that was a laptop, but there was no internet at this time. This was early 90s. So I'm typing out questions, asking them information, typing it. And I started to document a lot of it because first they were speaking through me and I wasn't getting it. I mean, I'm living in the back of a truck. I don't got money. I can't go buy recording equipment, video equipment.
Mhm.
Once I seen the little tiny UFO, I started seeing them on a daily basis. I'm seeing UFOs every night. We're watching these things put on. Me and a friend of mine from India, we're watching these UFOs put on a show for us, which I'm seeing now has become quite common with a lot of people. I
Mhm.
got a group run on Facebook and the chat room. There's a lady, Diana, that's one of my moderators. She's every night new pictures. They are now doing, I mean, this has been what they explained to me is in Roswell, 1947, whatever that was, whatever year it was, not good with years. They explained to me that this was no crash. They said this was all intentional and they did it around the world in different countries. So what they did, they want to establish communication. If they come down, Tommy, and land, I mean, you look at what was his name that did the War of the Worlds in the United
Mhm.
States and did the video broadcast that was phony and people are freaking out. People started
Yeah.
killing. They're freaking. We're being invaded by aliens.
Mhm.
They realize we can't just pop down and appear. For one, the human mentality with military, what they're going to do is try to kill them. You can't shoot these beings. You can't shoot them down. You hear this all over on the internet, always shooting them down. No, man. Big thing with them is time is not linear like it is with us with them. It's a whole. Past, present, future is a whole. So if you pull out a gun to shoot these things, they know this before it enters your mind.
Mhm.
And complete control of anything physical. Okay. Table, computers, phone. They basically manipulate molecular structures. I mean, they taught my kid in school. They didn't teach it when I was a kid. You can speed them up, slow them down, molecular structures. You speed them up, it's there. You can't see it, but the thing's still there. You slow them down, it's solid. Okay. So they've learned to control that. If you're going to shoot them, they're going to know before you even think this, and they're going to speed up the molecular structure, and it's not going to be there. And you
Mhm.
can't shoot them. I had somebody shoot at me. They dematerialized the bullets. The guy stopped me. I was doing psychic readings. And I found out, I mean, this guy, I was working for him, and he got all pissed off about, what are you doing? What are you doing? dude, it's nothing illegal. It's not your business. It's my personal business. And he kept insisting. I finally told him, I'm going to do psychic readings for people. Now everything's true, and I believe it is. I don't think they lied to me. I don't see why they would lie to me. They said that this guy would get a person every year, let him go in the forest, hunt them, and kill them. He was a hunter. All in his bathrooms at work. You got all this hunting stuff. And they said the guy's gun he uses to do this is behind a grandfather clock in his house. Okay, so he started
Man.
stalking. And apparently, where I was living in Northern California at that time, I was out walking my dog. And they said he was up on the roof of a building. And I heard crack. Nothing. Damn, it sounded like a gun. Kept walking. Crack, crack, crack. Nothing. And they said, yeah, they dematerialized the bullets, freaked him out. He considered himself this super good, could shoot, didn't drop. And I don't know if he quit what he was doing. When I was doing the readings, I finally quit doing it, Tommy. I got tired of some of the people. I tried finding lost kids, missing kids and children and shit like that. And I ran into one, and it popped up on the news probably about 10 years later. I was sent to the police. I did a reading with my guys. They broke it down that this kid that's missing is being done by a police officer. And he would get somebody's ID. He would save it because it would be close to his. He would get an impound car from the police department. He'd go into a ghetto. He would get a kid, take him, and say, okay, we're going to take you to a hotel room and do this junior surveillance and da-da-da. You're going to get a little badge, and we're going to show you how we do our job and da-da-da-da. Take them into a motel room, torture them, and kill them.
Oh my.
I turned this over to the police, and it went into details, tortures with cigarette butts and things he was doing to this kid. And the police turned it on me and said, this is you. How would you know this? We have not released it. And I finally, between going through the emotions and feeling what this poor kid went through, I finally said, screw this psychic reading, and I quit doing it. I'm still
Wow,
capable.
man.
I use it to help people, but to go back about 10 years later, it come out that there was this cop going from Northern California to Southern California that they finally busted for killing kids.
Oh man,
And
that's the dude you were
it was
sent
him.
like you knew, yeah.
If
Man.
they would have listened to me, it probably would have saved children's lives.
Where is he now?
They,
Is he I hope he's gone now.
they convicted him. I don't know if they put him to death in California, if you get death sentence, you're 30, 40 years before they put you to death.
Right,
So
okay.
I don't know. I just, I tried doing my bit. I tried to help. They didn't want to listen. I moved on. I found somebody on the America's Most Wanted TV show. And this is when I was homeless. I found a dude. They picked him up, $200,000 reward. I'm out of this homeless situation. Oh my God, this is my ticket. I'm going to become famous. I'm going to become known for what I do. Police keep the money. Police kept the reward, $200,000 reward, Southern California. I'm going, dude, I will drive to Southern California. I will bum gas. I'll sit on a corner and get money to get gas to get this money. I need it so bad. No, they kept the money, Tommy.
Man, how did you know where he was?
They led me to him in a homeless shelter. It's like it was on America's Most Wanted. I was with friends watching it, and I go to eat. I mean, I'm homeless. I got no money. So I go to this homeless shelter to eat. There he is, sitting right in front of me. I was like, oh my God, this is this dude on America's Most Wanted. I'm not going to say who he is because he is very famous. He still is famous in movies, in Hollywood. So I befriended him, talked to him, didn't let him know who I was. And I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it go. And he was a very arrogant, rude, you know? And I'm finally going, okay, is this my ticket out of where I'm at? They're looking for this guy for what he's done. And I called America's Most Wanted and said, it's blah, blah, blah. And they said, yeah, we get 75,000 calls every day for blah, blah, blah. We think you're full of crap. Does he have any scars, marks, or tattoos? I said, yeah, he's got the scar on his face, up on his head. Hang on, blink, put me on hold. And then they put me on line with investigators. And it was him. And they came and picked him up the next day. He was gone.
Man.
He went to college in this town. where I was at. It was in Stockton, California. I'll say where it was at. I won't say who his name because he is a public known figure.
Well, will
I
you
hung
tell
out.
me when? Will you tell me when we stop recording after? Because I need to know, man. I
Well,
won't
I'll
put it
tell
out.
you.
I won't put it out there. I won't put it out there.
We talk, and I'll tell you exactly who he is. I just don't
Yeah,
want to go saying
yeah,
this.
that's cool. That's cool.
I mean, I took him out for Chinese food. It's like, screw this soup kitchen. You want to go have some Chinese food? So we go to this Chinese restaurant that me and my buddy would go to. It's all you could eat. It was like $5. It's cheap food. And we sit down and he's Gary. He called me Gary. He had this accent, East Coast accent, United States, Gary. This Chinese food's garbage, Gary. I've been out on a yacht with Keith Richards eating, and he's telling me about all these rich and famous people that he had hung out with. And yeah, yeah,
Wow.
I've been through a lot with it, man. But back to Roswell. I never finished this. Roswell, they stage a crash. These aliens crash, and the reason they do it, okay, if they land, dudes are going to start shooting at them. You can't shoot these. This whole near-death experience I went through, they later told me, we don't have weapons. We will shut you down mentally to the point where you can't function. And that's what they were doing. They were pushing me out of my body, Tommy. Felt like your brain is flipping and you're leaving. You feel like you're dying. Feel like you're leaving your body. So, anyways, they crash. You got a wrecked UFO. You got 2, 3 dead beings, and you got one that's all jacked up but still alive. This takes away the fear factor. So they're not intimidated by this being no more. And we could sit and talk with them. It establishes a line of communication. So they start communicating back in 1947, Roswell. They're communicating with these beings. They basically, you hear people say, okay, they made a deal with Eisenhower in the United States that they can abduct people, United States citizens, in exchange for information. That's not true. What they did is they made an agreement. There's underground bases. If you look at my group, my main picture in my group is one of these docking stations in the San Francisco Bay Area. And basically they made an agreement with the government that, okay, we will have entrances to these underground bases on United States soil. And they even had bases on top of the land. You let us have access to this, and we will give you information. So they started exchanging information. That's when this all started. That's when our technology started to explode. You know what I'm saying? People will say, dude, you went from very minimal technology to it just where we're at now is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Something went south. I'll say it. I probably shouldn't say it. They made an agreement. You don't use this information for military purposes or to hurt people, weaponry, or any of this. And this agreement was broken. So these aliens kind of, I shouldn't call them alien, non-humans. They're not alien. They're of this planet. This is more so theirs than ours, Tommy. So they basically, this whole agreement with them went sideways, and here we are. I mean, I've been followed. I know, and I will say it publicly. I've said it many times. I'm followed by the CIA. They knew who I am when I was homeless. Before cell phones, before computers. I get pulled over. I run across a cop in a park, and I'm living in this truck. And you're England. I don't know if it's different than here. You got license, registration, insurance on your vehicle. So you got to be registered. You got any of this? They're taking your car. They're taking you to jail. I had stolen tags because I hadn't had registration for years. They put me in the back of the car. I'm back. I'm cuffed. I'm going to jail. You know, cop pulls up his computer. He's all, what are these numbers in this computer? I don't know. I've never had a computer. Your computer, dude, not mine. And he starts getting upset and he turns around and he shows me, what are these numbers? And it's flashing, do not arrest, do not arrest, do not arrest. And he got pissed off and he kicked me out of the freaking cop car and let me go with my stolen tags, no license, no ID, no nothing. To get out of here. So
Do not
Years down the
arrest.
I get my first computer in 1999 and I got my dial-up internet service and I'm on Yahoo groups and I'm talking with people and sharing information.
Interesting, man.
So I get 4 individuals that are ganging up on me in a chat room. And they're this and that and the other and the other. So I kind of start going tit for tat with them. And all of a sudden, one of them says, okay, Gary White, we know you. Fremont, California, wannabe rock star, druggie, American high school. They named Tommy my life when I was younger. The playing in the bands, the high school I went to, the fact that I partied and did drugs, and da-da-da-da, all of this. They broke it down. I went, whoa. My guides say, okay, we got something we want to say to them. Type this out. And I'm thinking, them, this is one person that said this. I start typing. They say, you, and you are all the same person. Used to be in the military. Now you're paid to go into these groups, discourage people, put them down, ridicule them. And they went through this whole bit with this person. And they ended it with, we know you very well. You like to come home, slap the wife, spank the kids, kick the dog. And they ended it with his real name. And then about 2-3 minutes later, I'm wiped off that site. So with that, an agreement was made that I don't get involved with any government related. Mm-hmm. And this person pops in. I'll be on Facebook in a group. And they drop little things, and I can tell that's him. This is him. And he's still following, watching. They let me post. Yeah. In my opinion, I want to hear what I have to say. There's certain people, they know. It's like me now. I mean, I've been doing this 37 years, man. This has not been, the past couple of years, 37 years. And I could tell a person will say, well, I'm communicating with these aliens, and he's saying certain words. And I'm going, dude, you're an effing liar. I could tell just by what you're saying that you're not telling the truth. For one, you talk about this Galactic Federation, commander this, commander that. These are all military terms. These beings are the furthest thing from military. They're so far evolved beyond military. It's like, dude, you're not telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like with me. There's a dude, you want to listen to a guy that's for real, is Robert Dean. You can pull this dude up. Mm-hmm. Listen to his lectures. Very interesting dude. He has met these individuals that I communicate with, and I've met them face to face. They look like us. Me and you could be chatting, meeting each other. Go, dude, Gary, dude, right on, dude, man. I like him. We really line up. We really sync together. We're a lot of freaking alien, dude, or non-human. They're not alien because they are of this. They're of the universe.
So, can I ask you what these entities are?
What are they?
Yeah.
Communicate with?
Mm-hmm.
They're what they call. Now, when I asked them this, of course, I asked, who am I dealing with? What's your name? I ask a ton of questions. I'm the kind of guy that has to know, why does this do this? Why does this work like this? So I asked them, what are you? Who are you? They are, well, we're what's known as the Sinye. Okay, CHENWAE, Sinye. And we're a group. They're a group, it's a collective consciousness of multiple beings that are energies. Okay. So their natural form, they're not physical. Okay. They're non-physical, but they will manifest physically to work with us. Now, the Sinye they're basically the Palladians, the Anunnaki, the tall whites. Okay. All of these beings that are human in appearance. This is where the saying comes, we're made in the image of God. They're not God. God is a separate conversation here. Okay. They appear in human form. That's what the ones they say they walk amongst us. Mm-hmm. They'll walk right at the bus stop and sit down and chat with you and walk away. And you'll never know unless they want you to know. So it's just like humans are African, Asian, Hispanic, Caucasian, Anunnaki, Palladians, tall whites, Nordics are all the Sinye. There's different levels. It's like this. We're in kindergarten. They've been through kindergarten. The ones with the big heads, like the Greys and all of this, with the big eyes and your typical alien-looking dudes, they're the Gongolay. All these beings have been through what we're going through, which is complete physical human understanding. We're learning what it is to be human, to be physical. Okay. Then you basically learn to create the physical. That's what these Gongolay with the big eyes are typical aliens that are doing the abductions. Okay. They're creating and developing the physical. This planet was designed for genetic development, not just humans, animals, plant life, everything. This is basically being done to colonize different regions of the multiverse. And this is why our scientists say that the multiverse or universe is growing. It's a continued that's been going on to get to the point where these Signé are at. You're talking a billion years. You go through 78 other forms. We're basically kindergartners. These Gongolay are like master's degree, learning to develop the physical. The Signé are like their PhD.
Hmm.
They're doing soul development, how the soul attaches to the physical body through reincarnation, da 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 da. They're the overseers. They're the orchestrators. They're the ones that are choosing this is where the genetics are being used
Hmm.
throughout the universe.
So,
Okay.
so they're here to help us evolve.
They're helping us evolve. It's just like parents and children. It's just like you could break it down, like I said, kindergarten, master's degree, PhD. And then once we graduate to PhD, God would be the senior CEO of the organization. We're all gods in training. At least this is what they broke down to me.
Hmm.
This is what we're going through. And this is why you'll hear people go, well, I'm being abducted and I got these like, non-human, alien deeds over me and they're doing these experiments. And there's humans standing to the side watching. They're not humans, they're these Signé. And they're the orchestrators. They're the ones that are running. The Gongolay are the frickin' worker bees that are just developing physical. They're underwater bases. They're saying, okay, there's underwater bases. It's not that there's a base underwater, there's an entrance to a base underwater. Because once again, these, what we call abductions, I call genetic development program, is what they've told me. They're abducting or they're conducting this research on animals. So it'd be a lot easier to bring a whale through the water and do an underground base than pulling it up out of the water to the sky and do an underground base. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they go underwater, they go out of the water. I've seen one in the Stockton when I was homeless go through a deep channel. I couldn't see it. It's murky water where the big ships from China are coming into California. And you could see the wake that this thing underwater is, it's either a craft or a freaking whale. And I don't think a whale can get in to these the delta. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they can travel underwater, sky, same craft. You know,
Man, do you see these entities? Like these entities that are communicating with you, are you seeing them as well?
have I been face to face with them?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I was homeless, and I didn't realize this till years later. I'm sitting in my truck or outside of my truck in an area. This is the town I grew up in, Fremont, California, Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I'm sitting on my truck and I've got very little money and I got very little gas. I got nothing to eat. Tommy, I'm going, okay, I got less than $5. Am I putting it in my tank? Am I going to get something? What the hell am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And this dude comes walking out of these hills, okay? And I'm watching up in the hills, there's like lights and fog coming up. And this is the town I had my first car. I used to go make out with my girlfriend up in these hills, drink beer, party. I know this like the back of my hand. I grew up in one town and one house, and I know this town very well. So this black guy comes walking out. And at the time, I got long hair down to my butt. I'm a musician, And he comes walking up to me and he's all, what are you doing? And I'm watching these lights and I grew up here and I have no idea what this is. And he says, yeah, that's for you. You need to go up there and check that out, but let's not worry about that right now. What's going on with you? And I go, I'm homeless. I live in this truck. And he's all, I'm homeless. Okay. And I don't know what to do. I don't got money. He says, okay, come here. I'm going to show you where to get. And he got in my truck. We drove around. Long haired black dude says he's a guitar player. We're talking music and this and that. And he shows me where to get resources, to get vouchers, to get food, hot meals twice a week at a church. Drive around. We get to this church. We got another guitar player friend of mine we picked up. And I asked him, do you want to have eat dinner with us at this church? And he's all, no, I got my friends waiting on me. And I look over and there's like five of them just standing there staring at us, like kind of odd. Hey, man, thank you. Hopefully I see you again. We can go to this dude's studio. I know we can go play music. And he's all, yeah, I'm kind of busy. And he says he's homeless, but it's kind of weird, you know? So he walks off to these five people. I'm talking to my friend and we look over and they're all gone. All five of them are gone. And we're thinking, well, that's kind of, but we don't put one together. Let's eat. Let's have a meal. We haven't eaten. We're hungry. We eat. And then a couple years later, they tell me, well, yeah, that was us. We got in your truck. We showed you where you could get food, how to survive. Okay. And then I went up to the flashing lights. I finally got the nerve up. I started selling Kirby vacuum cleaners. I don't know, England, you got Kirby vacuum cleaners?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm selling these things door to door, homeless. I'm making a little money, barely surviving. I get the Kirby van. I go up there and you go around this corner and there's this upside down airplane. I can send you a picture of it. And it's on the stand and it's like a freaky feeling. And they said that that's a docking station. This is where they're coming in and out of. And I finally approached them and I faced my fears. Me and a buddy of mine, one night, we went, we waited for this. There's like a trailer with a dude watching with binoculars. And we waited. We're going to wait for this guy to come out and talk to us. Okay. We see him get out. He goes around. He's screwing around this platform. All of a sudden, he starts floating towards us. He's bouncing like off. It's like, that's a light. Is that a motorcycle? There's no noise. Is it a horse? What the hell is this dude on? And my friend, and I took Billy Badass with me. I mean, this friend of mine's that, and he will get on. He'll say, dude, I was with the dude. We did this bit. And he's multiple martial arts. This is a dude that you don't want to screw with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take the best fighter I know with me, Tommy, up to this. And this thing's floating us, and he's all, screw this. I'm out of here. So he takes off, and we go down a windy canyon road. It points, it's one lane with pull-offs where you got pull to the side so one person can pass. And we get down to the town of Fremont. It's gone. He says, dude, I didn't want to say it when I was driving. There was 3 green lights on my butt the whole way down this canyon road. So we're driving around and he says, okay, I'm going to take you back to your truck. You know, we're kind of tripping going, wow, that was like bizarre. It was scary. They didn't do nothing to us. So we're driving down at the end of this cul-de-sac housing development. We see what looks like a top hat sitting above a house. I'm like, dude, check that out. Fucking UFO. So we drive down this court. His story and my story are kind of different. We have different recollections of this. So I remember driving down towards this thing. It's there. All of a sudden, his car is turned around and facing out of this cul-de-sac. We're standing outside and we got this triangle above us. And this thing is 30, 40 feet. You could hear it. So it sounds like a hive of bees. And you know what a didgeridoo? It's a Australian.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It sounds very quiet, but it sounds like that. And this thing's directly above us. And we're going, dude, it's a UFO. And we're like, this is 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and we're yelling, screaming at this thing. And all of a sudden, blink, it's gone, and it's like a star. And we're watching
Wow.
the star. So he starts driving, and all of a sudden, blink, it's gone, it's above us. I'm following this street, turn. We did this till the sun come up, playing like cat and mouse with this thing. And he dropped me off at my truck, and it was up in the sky, a silver ball, like one of these orbs they talk about now. Back then, this is the 90s. Orbs weren't really popular back then. Silver ball sitting there. I'm looking at it, blink, it disappears. And it was like, whoa. So that's what this, one guy said, you got to go check out this area. It's docking station. They're coming in and out to underground bases. And a couple of years later, I talked to a friend of mine, was like junior high, grade school, you know, when I was a little boy, one of my best friends. And he says, yeah, you know what? I know the old man that owns that property with this upside down airplane. And I thought he was going to tell me, you're full of crap, dude, because I know what this is. He said, I'm out there herding cattle with him because it's all cattle field with a couple of areas with cattle fencing that they can't get into. If I were to try to jump these fences, you'd be swarmed by cops. There was a website for a little bit where people go and you go up there and the police come and run you off. And I've had police come up, pull up on me. And with that town, I was known. I had a reputation. I was an outlaw. You know what I'm saying? And if I run into cops in that town, they would put me through the whole 10 yards, searched and car, this and that. And they pulled up on me up there and they're all, hey, what you doing? Are you taking video? You making video? Hey, you have a great time. Just don't go over that fence and you're okay. And they leave and I'm all, damn, that was not Fremont police because they know me by name, by sight. They would put me through so much harassment. I'm granted at the time, I got nothing on me. I'm cool. Search us, whatever you want to do. But they didn't bother with none of that. They were kind.
Yeah.
They were nice.
So
They
they
let
were
us
just
film.
there to protect that area, and that's their sole job.
That's their sole job. And to me, it wasn't police. It was these beings. It wasn't police. It wasn't humans. It was these beings.
Interesting.
You're okay to be there. You could make video. You could take your video, and somewhere packed in my room. This is like I said in the '90s, when someone finally, I had just gotten out of being homeless. I was staying in an old hotel, and I was on my way up from being homeless. And someone that believed in me, Tommy, that said, "Dude," I mean, a lot of my friends said, "Dude, you need to go to mental health. You went from being, this bass player with his reputation, known, good, to living in the back of a truck. Now you're talking to aliens, dude. You need to go seek help." And I'm all, dude, I'm same dude. I haven't changed. I'm pretty level headed. You know what I'm saying? This is reality. I'm seeing that a few of these people are seeing them around me. So they would go, dude, you're not freaking lying. This is reality, what you're saying. I had one guy bought me a video camera. I had one guy buy me a computer. They said, you need to be on sharing this, what you're learning from them with people. So, yeah, yeah. I went
Man,
down for 2 years. It was my personal X-Files place.
yeah.
I would take people. There was one guy, and he was a pretty brutal, mean individual. Definitely not somebody I would definitely not screw with this guy. He wanted to see him. He wanted to see him. We got close and we seen a UFO on the way to this docking station. And he got, dude, I don't want to go. Take me home. I don't want to go near this thing. What I just seen in the sky? No, dude, take me home. And they had it blocked off. I was, no, dude, we just drove from Stockton to here to pick you up, to there to take you to your house, back to here to go see this. We've got 3-4 hours into this now. I'm going up to this site. And they had it blocked off. We couldn't get up there. There was one way up to this site, and it was a wavy boom, 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 boom road. Yeah.
Are you still having experiences like this now? Is this still happening?
Do I? Yeah, I had one not too long ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, where I was sighting with a very large craft. Yeah. It happened a little bit back, Tommy. I got off track. I don't want to go much into my personal life, but I will one on one with me and you. I'll tell you details, but it involves other people. And I don't want to mention them on a
Yeah,
show.
no, of course.
Um, I got off track and I was in a bad place and I no longer wanted to be alive. And I was trying to kill myself. And this was not all that long ago, man. It was 7-8 years ago. And they then would appear to me every day. And it's become a thing with me and them to where if I start seeing them every day, I need to look at something going on in my life. Per karmic law, they can't, go, hey, Gary, you're doing this, and you need to change, you need to do this. They will appear to you, they will nudge you, but they can't change our decision-making process because that's how we learn, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? It takes the learning, the purpose of being, it's like before you're born, you go through this meeting with what we perceive to be God. You make these decisions. I'm going into this life. This is what I'm going to learn. I got this karmic debt. I can go into my life right now, my karmic debt, my soul contract. This is what you're going to learn. They can nudge you and help you to achieve your goals, but they can't come in and make they made a major impact in my life, but I've heard one other person mention that they communicate with them, and I know they're telling the truth because they make you work for it. They make you earn it. It's hard to describe. It's hard. I'm the kind of dude that I meditate, but I can't clear my mind empty, nothing. So I do, as the guy Aaron Doty, I learned this from on the internet. It's got a YouTube channel. Is you just relax, you let the thoughts come in, and then you let them go, but you evaluate what is coming into my head. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they can't, they can nudge you, but they can't outright tell you you need to do this. So they will appear. This is what I saw them like a couple of weeks ago. It was at the time of all these orbs and the East Coast of the United States over in New Jersey and all that. And I'm driving and it's at night and it's maybe about 9 o'clock and I'm seeing way off. I mean, you're talking 30, 40 miles. And I see, it's by the ski resorts up at Lake Tahoe. Okay. And it looks like it could be the equipment, but no, that's kind of too big. And I quit looking, I'm driving, and I look up, and all of a sudden, this thing's right in front of me. And it's the size of three commercial airline planes. And it's in front of me, it's coming right at me. And all of a sudden, it goes like this, and it turns sideways, and then it fades off. And went behind some trees. I couldn't see it. And then I got around the trees, drove around it, and it was gone.
Wow. What did that look like?
An airplane, let me explain something. An airplane will go and bank wide like that. This tips like this. And it went pretty much almost upside down. And it's the weirdest thing. It's like it's weightless and it glides to the side. It's not like an airplane. They make it,
Wow.
you could tell the
Yeah.
difference between them and an airplane. You know what I'm saying? I got a phone app that I use, and I recommend it to a lot of people called Flight Radar 24. And it's live air traffic in real time.
Hmm.
So you can pull it up in your area. It's funny. I say it jokingly. You look at it and you pull up North Korea. There's not one airplane over North Korea. None. They're not allowed to fly
I'm
North
not
Korea.
surprised.
Yeah, no, pull up your phone, pull up Flight Radar 24,
Yeah.
free download that, and look at how many airplanes are in the sky at one time. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man. Yeah, for sure. I
Mind
think I
boggling.
think I have actually downloaded that app before, to be honest, or a similar app, and you can literally point to the sky, and it tells you the plane that's in the sky at that moment. Like it tells you where it's going, where it's been, exactly what model it is. Even army plane, even some military planes on there as well. Really interesting, man.
I could show you one that I got on my phone. I can send it to you or something if you want to see it. A flight radar where I tracked what looked like an airplane in Reno, Nevada. And this thing's doing flight patterns at 55 miles per hour. And I watched it one night till my phone battery basically died. And it's doing maneuvers that is impossible for an airplane to do. That's why I originally downloaded it, because I'm seeing these and they look like airplanes. They got characteristics, but some things are different, like an airplane. And I talked to a pilot that I believe was not human. It was in a Chinese food restaurant. And I hear these guys talking about airplanes. I'm sorry, they're waiting on their food. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Do airplanes have headlights? And they said, yeah, an airplane will have headlights, but they only use them when they take off and land. Okay. So if they're way far from an airport, they're not going to have, no. Do they have white lights in back of them? No, not at all. Because also I'm seeing these things that are looking like airplanes and they got white, bright lights in back of them. And they do little subtle things, Tommy, that, and I've set appointments for them to appear for people. One of them was a very famous individual that's now dead. Stanton Friedman, nuclear physicist, was involved with freaking UFOs and all this. Very rude, condescending, basically told me, no, you can't possibly communicate with these beings because you're a high school dropout and I'm a nuclear physicist. And they would communicate with me before they would communicate with you. And it's like, and they told me later on, no, the reason we don't communicate with Stanton Friedman, going back to Roswell, they tried communicating with scientists. Didn't work out, man. Human intentions, they want to do the wrong thing. I've had several scientists. I got a guy right now going, I want to fly to the United States and I want to go to California and meet you. okay, face to face, and sit down and ask you questions, you know? And I've told them, yeah, if you want to do that, one thing, I'll tell you what, and I say this every day, I will help anybody for free. I don't charge. And this last 37 years, I guaranteed I'm in tens of thousands of people that I've communicated with and helped. I'll have somebody out of the blue contact me and say, look, you don't know me, but I've been following you for a year and reading what you're posting, and you've made a big impact in my life. You've helped me with what you're posting, with what I've learned from you. But anybody of that caliber that's from Dubai and now living in London and wants to fly here and said, I can fly tomorrow to meet you. Well, dude, you know what? I don't work for you for free. I work hard. I come home every night from my job hurting, in pain, to put a roof over my head and food, to help people for free. If somebody's going to come ask questions that's going to make them money, hell, I'll do it for you, but you're going to pay me.
Hmm.
Is that not fair?
No, for sure, man. 100%. Yeah.
Somebody, and I use this one kid, I don't want to mention his name, in Facebook, and I'm in probably 30, 40 groups besides my own group that I post. When I do a post, and my posts take me probably hour to 2 hours to write, they're original. I'm not reposting other people's stuff. I write out all of my own information that I've learned from this. And I'm answering questions. Anybody, if you're professional and you're cool to me, I will answer any questions with these guides' help that you want to ask. You want to be rude? I'm blocking you. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with you.
Hmm.
Ask me, have you ever thought of killing yourself, in public? And I said, yeah, I have. And how about this? Let me PM you, dude. And he's a 13-year-old kid in Africa. And he says, my mother, father died. I'm 13. I'm living with my aunt and uncle, and they give me bare minimum, but I'm struggling. I don't want to be alive no more. So I went through probably 2 hours of back and forth with this kid. And he's all, have you thought, yeah, I've had just 7, 8 years ago, gun in my mouth, and I planned my death behind a grocery store. This is how I'm going to do it, And he's all, well, what kept you from doing it? And I'm all, you know what kept me from doing it? The fact that I'm going through what I chose to go through before I was born. For one, I'm paying off a karmic debt where I was a charlatan. I had these psychic abilities I got right now. I was very good at what I did, but I took advantage of people. I ripped people off and I lived high off the hog. So this life, I struggled. It's been hard. Like I mentioned before the show started, I've had guns to my head multiple times. I've been shot at. I've had guns in my mouth. I've been stalked by people, homeless for 10 years. This was all to learn how some people live. Not everybody has it made with the 9 to 5 and insurance and medical and this. Dude, there's so many people out there that have it rough. And I had to do that. They appeared to me. They turned on the light switch. They set me on this path to help people free. So this 13-year-old boy, I have no problem on helping him to get past this. And I told him, if I were to kill myself right now, I'm going to have to come back and do this all again till I get it right. And I'm not going to go through this again, for one. For two, with what's going on in this planet right now and some people think it's a joke, the Great Awakening and what's going on with all the sightings, and it's just growing. It's been growing since Roswell. It's been a big acclimatization process. It's a very rare time in human history. And this isn't going to be available for thousands of more years for me to go through this life and do this again. So I am doing it to the end, Tommy. That's why I told him, yeah, you could go kill yourself, but you're going to come back and you're going to go through this again until you get it right. That's Buddhism. That's reincarnation. We're learning what it is to be completely human. Male, female, mother, father, daughter, good, bad, the ugly. I put it like this. You know who Jeffrey Dahmer is? American Civil War?
Yeah.
Start that and ascends to love. By the time we finish this process 3,000 lives later, it's a long, 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 long process. Right now, they told me I've got, what was it? 1,547 lives I've lived. Okay. I've lived 500 lives 527 lives in what they call higher mental development. That's developing psychic abilities. 113 lives I've lived working with these ETs, which makes it easy for me to communicate in all of this I'm doing. I get people on a daily basis, Tommy, going, dude, how can I talk to him? I want to talk to him. It just doesn't happen like this. This is something that develops over multiple lifetimes. When you commit in your pre-life meeting, this whole soul contract, that I'm going to be part of this abductions, what I call your developmental, the genetic development program, it starts out in terror and it evolves to love. Everything in the reincarnation process does this. Okay. So basically, and you'll hear a lot of musicians, Sammy Hagar, Jimi Hendrix, Bootsy Collins, George Clinton, fucking John Lennon, all these people having experiences with freaking UFOs and aliens. They
Mhm.
help us with creative development. They help us with higher mental development, which is psychic abilities. This is why you hear musicians going, "Yeah, I'm seeing these UFOs." You know, the I think it's the singer, the guitar player for Third Eye Blind is like big into this alien UFO thing. That's because he's going through this abduction thing. Most of these people don't put the one and the two together. That look, they're going to take you, they're going to do these experiments, procedures, whatever you want to call them. And in exchange, they're going to help you to develop creativity and higher mental development. Like with me, I got over 100 scars on my body. And what they're doing with me, I'm diabetic. And on top of all the drugs and the partying I did, they're cutting me, they're cutting me, and they're basically studying how long it takes my body to heal. But by the time I wake up, it's a healed scar that I didn't have before I went to bed. I got a face on my shin. I can send you pictures of. I got right here on my shoulder. You probably can't see on your video screen. I can
Mhm.
send you a picture of it. It's a scoop scar. They're pretty well known with abductees. It looks like they took an ice cream scooper, went scoop and scooped out a hunk of skin. And I went through this with them, and I go, okay, you're taking DNA. That's what taking the chunk of skin. And they said, no, no, no. We could swab the inside of your mouth and get DNA. We don't have to probe you in the rear end. That's all a myth. We could just simply go in your cheek and we could have your DNA. It's that simple. They said the scar on my body right here, this, I'll send you, if you want, I can send you pictures. It's kind of hard to see with this in my shirts.
So are
It's,
they taking you as well? Are you being abducted as well?
oh yeah, since I was 5 years old. I don't remember them. I remember waking up from them. I remember having a, this is crazy. And I will do this one as a test. This is a test. I'll join a new group and you're talking, you get 200,000 people in this group. I need to weed out the idiots. I'm tired of people coming, dude, you're on drugs. You did drugs. I did. That's my life. That's me. That's neither here nor there with what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go in and I'll post the story of waking up in my bed and in my closet there's about a 7 foot half man, half praying mantis in my closet staring at me. And he's moving like a spider, quick, and he's telling me mentally, we've never hurt you. Why are you scared? Huh, dude, you're a 7 foot praying mantis, half man staring at me mentally talking to me. I'm scared as, you know what I'm saying? I've had one wake up and they talk about paralysis. Okay. Where you wake up and you can't talk, you can't move, you can't do nothing. I woke up, I'm sleeping and your arm will fall off the side of the bed. And all of a sudden he puts his hand in my hand and he's got three silky long fingers. Okay. And I'm freaking out, man. This thing's touching me and it feels like a deer antler. It feels velvety. Okay. It feels like velvet. And I'm freaking out. I can't scream. I can't open my eyes. I want to scream. I want the hell out of there. But I could take his hand and bend it all the way back to his forearm. And it's not breaking. And once again, he's telling me, why are you freaking out? We've never hurt you. That's the most I remember being let out my back door, green light, one in front of me, one in back of me, and they're taking me to go do this. But I don't remember on these ships. And they say, Gary, you've been through all that. That's not meant for you. You've been through the terror side. It's not pleasant. It's like, you know, I use this as an example. I had a vasectomy after I had my kid at one point. I had a vasectomy, went and had it done, and it didn't go good. And you sit down, they lay you out on the table, and you're spread legs, and they got two long needles like this big, and you see they get them and inject them in each one of your nuts, and it hurt. Okay, and I describe it as like having a rabid monkey hang from your balls for 20 minutes. Okay, you're a guy, you can
Yeah,
relate to this. Women might not, but they do.
it doesn't sound nice.
And he tells me before, he says, "Don't be alarmed if you smell smoke." Before he starts this, I'm like, "What? You're going down cutting on, and I'm going to smell smoke?" They say, "Yeah, we cauterize it." So he starts doing this, and I'm grunting and groaning. He says, "You can feel this?" Absolutely, it fucking hurts. Two more needles. So medical procedures are not fun. They're not pleasant. I volunteered. I walked into this. The doctor was very blasé. Yeah, this is no big deal, Davis. Yeah, I'm going to cut on your nuts and I'm going to burn you and I'm going to do. It didn't faze him in the least bit. It's the same as with these aliens, but we volunteer before we're born to be part of this and to do it. In exchange, they've helped me. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm a poet. I write, and they've helped me through 113 lives in developing this. And this particular life, it's built up to the point where the communication, where they freely talk through me, to me, communicate, whether it's a word, it could be mental visions.
Could you communicate with them now if you wanted to? Like if you could reach out, would you get a message back now? Like if you wanted to do that?
Right this second, they may, depending on what we're talking about. I guarantee you they're right here hearing what we're talking about. They could be standing right next to you. And that's what people say. Well, these orbs are here to watch us. They don't need that shit to watch us. They could be standing right next to you in a nuclear facility, watching you doing what you're doing, and you don't know they're there. It's all manipulating molecular structures. But yeah, I still communicate with them. I'll be reading a book. They'll comment. I'll see some, I'll be doing something. Tommy, they're funny as hell. I'll be down and bummed out, and they will make me literally laugh. I've seen people look at me in public and go, "What is this dude laughing at?" Because they're telling me jokes about people and this and that. And yeah, I
Interesting, man.
still communicate with them. They still all be typing on Facebook. Excuse me, I'm getting over a virus.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I'm typing, and this could be something that a subject I've been discussing for 30 something years, and they will add in new things just automatically start telling me. And there's other forms that will communicate with me, but there's these one specific, this quintile is what they're called. And I could tell it's a very subtle, peaceful, angelic feeling. I don't know in England, do you guys know what smudging is? Have you heard
I,
of the term smudging?
I think so, but I'm not sure. But what is
It's
that?
it's American Indian, and you get sage, and you
Oh,
burn
yes.
sage, go through your house and get out of my house, and you're not welcome. I just recently got somebody out of my house, and there was something that was following this individual, and the little dog would not go in that individual's room because I moved into this room because I'm repairing my room. And the dog would growl and bark and tripping on this. And I smudged and got ready to get out of here. You're not welcome. This is not your domain. This is my house. You're not welcome here. Like-minded, kind individuals. That's it. Smudged, got rid of it. It
What was that? What was that? A different type of entity?
was a different type of entity that was following a person because of their I guess I'll just say it, sexual activity. It was a female.
Hmm.
And she told me before what it had done to her and what she'd been through with it. And I didn't think it followed her here, but it did. And I got rid of it. And now the dog, dog comes to my house, doesn't permanently live here. Little dog will come and run through the house, check every room, check sure, is it here? Is it here? Is it not here? And it's cool.
Yeah.
It'll go in, but it would not go near this, whatever it was. And before this person moved out, the dog would be sitting on my bed with me and just looking at something, and it'd follow it here and then follow it there and start growling at this thing,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Dogs are like kids. They see things like how kids' minds work where they're open to all this stuff. Dogs are obviously the same. They're not switched off to any of this stuff, so they see these things as well. 100%, man.
Yeah, before they're freaking brainwashed.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
rules and all that. They just brainwashed, oh, this isn't real. It's not right. If you're doing it, you're evil. You're going to go to hell. No, man, this is a natural part of it. So you look at like the Native Americans, and I say this all the time, Tommy, if we lived like the natives in America lived, we wouldn't have all these problems right now with the pollution, the destruction of the planet. We backed ourselves into a corner. We're in a bad spot right now. They tried to avoid this. That's what the whole Roswell with the sharing of information was to avoid. Avoid where we're at. And we're pretty much, if what they're telling me is true, and I don't think they lie to me about any of this, I don't see why they would lie to me. I'm not making money off this. They're saying this needs to get out, but we can't fix the mess that we're in. I mean, I saw YouTube and they're up Antarctica and the glaciers and this and that. And it's a party ship and they're out drinking, they're partying, and you're talking 900-mile hunk of glacier melting off into the, and they're right on. Dude, did you see? Dude, that's our death. That's our destruction of our planet that we have done. And it's not our planet. It's their planet, you know? And these people will go, dude, will they come take me to their planet, get me away from here? And why aren't they fixing this? They tried, they can nudge us, they tried, but if we do the wrong thing with it, they can't stop us from doing that. And as far as taking them away, it's like, okay, that's like renting a house, destroying your landlord's house, and then asking them, okay, I've done fucked up your house. Can I come live with you now? You know what I'm saying? Sorry, man, ain't gonna happen. It's what they call the recycle reset. Right now, this past 70 years has been an acclimatization process. It's building, 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 and there's going to be a recycle reset. They said, for one, the intentions of humanity against humanity have become way off balance. You got to have a balance of good and bad. You got to learn both the good and the bad. You can't just learn the good. How would you know good if you didn't know bad? You know? So, but they said it's off balance. There's, I mean, people coming up missing. You got, and I don't know about in the UK, but in the United States, the school shootings, just senseless, stupid stuff. I know somebody had a kid just 3 weeks ago. They got code red lockdown that there was somebody on campus, an adult, all in black with a gun. It's become commonplace here, man. It's not out of the ordinary for that to happen. They said it's off balance. It's the yin and the yang. It's balance of power, good and bad. But right now, it's way off balance. Right now, we've destroyed this planet, and there's no money into fixing the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Here's
man.
here, here's a good example, Tommy. Are you aware of the USS Nimitz and the Tic Tac off the coast of Southern California?
Yep.
Very famous case.
Hmm.
Louis Alla, whatever his name is. They're saying, what is this thing? It's a tic tac. It's bouncing around on the water. It's doing 13,000 miles per hour, immediate right hand turn. They're going, it's impossible. A person would implode in this thing, disappear, reappear 60 miles away. Where this thing was bouncing around like a lotto ball on top of the ocean by Catalina Islands at the bottom of the ocean, there's 60 to 70,000 barrels of DDT that's rusting away and leaking into the ocean. Once again, they can't tell us, fix your fucking mess, man. You're destroying the reef, the ocean, the seals are getting cancer. This is happening. Fix your mess. Get Elon Musk, get fucking, what's his name? Zuckerberg, all these rich people, they could fix this, but there's no profit in it for them. That's what that USS Nimitz thing was all about. They're trying to play. It's a known fact. You could probably look it up on internet about the United States allowed private industry to dump toxic waste off the coast of California by Catalina Islands. I'm sure you could find it. I've seen it on the internet. And they
Hmm.
said, that's what we're trying to point out to you people. Fix your shit. but we
Yeah.
won't. And it's come to the point. There's a book you can get. They've led to me this in a roundabout way. I get somebody pops into a group that one of these ETs that I did, a friend of mine that I met years ago when I first started this, and he's all, dude, you seem level headed. Do you have a car? I'm all, yeah, I got a car. And he's all, can you drive me to mental health? Yeah, I could drive you to mental health. What's going on, dude? I just met this dude. Just met him like 15, 20 minutes. Okay. What's going on? Why do you need to go to mental health? He doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I do. And he's all, dude, I'm hearing voices and everyone's telling me I'm going insane and I'm losing my mind and I need to go to mental health. And I'm all, Gino, you're not losing your mind. You need to talk. Your Victoria was going to be your sister. Your mother had a miscarriage. She's one of your guides. Joseph was your brother in a past life. He's one of your guides. And then you have an ET around you named Anolo Sheshe. He's one of your guides. Talk to them. They will help you. They will help people around you. If you want, it's your choice. You can go make money. You can charge people. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you're fair. Or you could do like I do. I do it free. I'm paying off karmic debt because I was a dick about it in the last life and took advantage of people. So now this life, I'm doing it for free. So
Interesting, man.
basically, I get a lady, listen to this, Tommy. I get a lady pops into this group. Her name's Anolo Sheshe and starts talking with me about shit. She refers me to a book by a guy. You can buy it on Amazon. It's like $4 called Radical Regeneration. It's scary. It's a frightening book. And it's basically saying, look, we're basically backed into a corner. We are incapable of fixing the damage we've done to this planet. So it's going to be fixed for us. It's going to be a cataclysmic event. And that's what they're saying is the reset and recycle. They said this planet's going to recycle itself. We're going to go back to horses and carriages, and it's all going to build back up. They said this has been going on for before. And this is the crazy thing. People say, dude, you're crazy. That the dinosaurs were the beginning of time, and that's what they taught us in school. They said, no, there was people here before the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs interrupted it to develop DNA for the freaking reptilians for planets where they're working at. It has nothing to do with them living under Earth and eating people. It's all a bunch of crap. That it's like they look like my guides, these Sinye, look like us. So they could live amongst us and interact with us. Goes back to cavemen. There was a caveman. Wow, this caveman knows how not just to hunt, but how to butcher, how to do this, how to use certain plants for medicine, how to keep coals and embers to create a fire without rubbing sticks together. And they live amongst us and they teach us. That's what they did with the reptilians, with the dinosaurs to develop this DNA that is still on this planet. It's a warehouse of DNA. Okay. That's why they had to run it. They said with that particular planet where they're developing sentient individuals, they needed the process of evolution, Darwinism. And they said it needed to be ran in real time to make sure it worked. Took millions of years. It worked. It went from that right back to humans. That's why there's a missing link. Because there was humans before. And it interrupted the whole. We needed to develop this DNA. And they said this whole reptilian thing that they're running the government and they're running this planet. No. These individuals are beyond violence as a manifestation of humanity. We're brutal. We're kindergartners. We're like the little boy on a playground running around picking on the little girls and the other little boys because they don't know no better. That's us, Steve. We're set as another thing. They say we have a lot of things backwards that we think that they're traveling light years and this to get here to study us. They said, no, we got it backwards. They're taking DNA here, taking it light years and developing beings like us. It's
Man,
bananas.
Gary, you are blowing my mind tonight, brother.
Thank you. That's what I do, dude.
Yeah.
It's been 37 years, Tommy, that they've been working with me, teaching me this. Because I started, like I said, I went through this period where I saw that Mothership and I started reading all this stuff. And I'm reading and I'm watching any documentary, anything I can absorb, dude. I'm absorbing.
Hmm.
And then they broke through to me
Yeah.
with the near experience. And they started explaining things. They started, okay, here's where you're wrong. This is where you got it kind of backwards. This is where you humans have misconceptions, which people are clinging to. There's so much disinformation right now floating around with this whole, you know, and there's certain people that are worse than others. One that really, really, really makes me nervous is Dr. Stephen Greer. To me, a lot of people believe that this guy is the end all to this. In my opinion, you watch something's going to happen and he's what I, there's things I want to say. There's things I know, Tommy, that I don't want to say because I don't want flack in my life and I don't want to be followed by the black SUVs and the motherfuckers knocking on my door. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Stephen Greer, common sense. Come on, man. You're not going to reveal United States national security secrets. They will try you and they will execute you. End of subject. That's national security. That's why I say, I'm surprised people in the United States really want the United States government to tell everything they know on the 6 o'clock news. I'm kind of comfortable not being invaded myself, you know?
Yeah, man. Can I
So,
go back to the mothership that you saw when you
sure.
first saw the mothership? Can you describe what it looked like?
It was 3 bright lights, dark, but on the outside rims, it was almost like a cloud and it was spinning super slow. This, and that's all you could see. You couldn't see up on top of it. It was so low. It was very, very low to where you couldn't really see but the underneath. It's like the triangle that I seen. 3 bright light, 1, 2, 3, bright light in the middle with a bunch of intricate working, you know? I seen one of these one night. I'm sorry. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
I watched one night, I'm watching a saucer. Me and a friend of mine are watching this saucer shaped vehicle come at us. It stops, it sets there. A beam of light comes down to the ground, maybe about, I don't know, 5, 6 feet off the ground. It's got this, looks live, like this, moving. It's like, what the fuck is that, man? All of a sudden, the front end of it turns into a cloud. It rolls forward, turns into an airplane. It's flying above us. Right when it gets above us, it goes pop. You hear it pop, and it starts sounding like an airplane. I saw one
Whoa.
night. Me and a buddy of mine, this Gene guy, the one to go to the freaking mental health place. We were coming back from we were driving from basically San Francisco to Stockton, California, and we're watching one saucer, and it did the same thing with the cloud, and it turned into in the sky, floating in the sky, a yellow school bus. This is a bus floating in the sky, school bus written on the damn thing. Okay. Years later, I'm trying, what the hell is up with the school bus? And then years later, you know what they tell me? Dude, come on, obvious. You've been in school. They've been teaching me.
Yeah.
It's like they've taught me in weird ways. Like I said, I could be watching. I got a post I can send you with the turtle about comparing abductions to what humans do with animals.
Hmm.
These whole cattle mutilations. It's and they're cutting out certain parts of the body, and people, well, why are they killing these animals? Well, what they're doing has something to do with karma and the ranchers. But what they're doing is they're basically saying we put these chemicals and all this into the ground, into the plants, into the water that the animals eat, that we're now eating, and they're tracking this. This is what went in the chemical pure. This is what went into the water, into the grass, into the animal, into us. And they're tracking this shit. So
Interesting, man.
something,
Wow.
my opinion, and you know what? And I've said this before, all this, they've been saying California is going to earthquake going to fall off into the ocean. Okay, there's going to be revelations, the end of time and da 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 da, and 2012 that everything was supposed to end, and it hasn't happened yet. They told me there's been a delay, but something's going to happen. Something's got to give, Tommy. The intentions, people are treating people so bad. I was just saying this the other day. It's like, look, I work. I'm trying to better myself. I'm looking for a job. It's so hard not to get scammed just trying to find a job. All I want is
Hmm.
employment, support myself. And I got people that who knows who they are, where they're from, scamming money out of me. Elderly that's living off of a pension or social security that is barely surviving. And you got people trying to scam them out of the little bit that they got to keep food in their mouths and a roof over their head, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
Freaking cool, man.
No,
And
for
that's what
sure. We,
that's the
we,
whole huh.
we're definitely living in some wild times. That is for sure. And
Yeah.
obviously with the UFO and the alien subject at the moment, it seems to be growing. It's getting pretty big. You know, it's mainstream now. You know, they talk about this stuff on the mainstream news now.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s when you probably first started exploring this subject, obviously it was out there, UFOs and stuff like that, but nothing like it is now.
It
We're
is
seeing a
now.
huge amount of growth in this topic, and it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting to see where it's going to be because, as you say, with technology, we're moving very quick, and in the next
Yes.
5 years, it's probably going to look very different to today, you know, and that's not
Just
far away.
just imagine what they know that we don't know they know.
100%, man. Yeah.
So I personally don't even believe that we've back engineered and like this TR3B that looks like a triangle is United States get no man. The reason I say this is what I've learned from them. These craft are biological. It's not a machine. It's not nuts and bolts and put together and flown with an accelerator, a brake, a steering guidance system. No, this is all a mental process with these
Mhm.
beings.
They're
They
like
count.
they're a living entity, the craft itself.
Yes. Yes, they get in them. It goes back to remember I told you that this thing follows playing cat and mouse with us. It was a
Mhm.
silver ball and disappeared. When they get in it, it's a silver ball. They get in this thing, and I went through an experience one night when I'm coming down with a cold. I'm laying in my bed and I'm listening to PBS documentary on something. All of a sudden, three long fingers going through my skull into my brain, wiggle around, and kind of twitch and jerk. Okay, they pull them out, and I feel surrounded by a white foam. It's very snug. It's like super comfortable, comforting. It's like, oh my God, I'm back in the womb. You know what I'm saying? It's comfortable. I start to float up in the air. And then all of a sudden, whoop, I'm out of this whole experience. And they said, this is basically what we do. We get in these crafts. It's a silver ball. It encompasses it. We're part of it. It's part of us. And then we mentally shape it, shape shifting, how they shape bodies, the craft from a saucer to a bus. I had one following me when I was in Reno, going from Reno to Tahoe. And I got these old videos. I got to dig them out. These were orbs in the 90s. And they're different colors. They're going through them, all these different. Whoa. So I'm videotaping these. I'm all, dude, that's not a normal light. So then I start, Tommy, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to start videotaping lights that I see, and I can't get the same. I'm not getting the same light. And then one night I'm driving, and one's behind, it's a motorcycle behind me, and the headlight is doing this weird. And it's like that motorcycle is not a motorcycle. It's not a human on this motorcycle. I mean, I know that sounds nutty and crazy, but these beings are capable of doing things that we cannot even imagine. Just like when the dude shot at me, dematerialize. Let's
Mhm.
speed up, slow down molecular structures. Sorry about the cold.
Yeah, no, that's no problem, man. No, you're doing a
I'm
great job.
looking forward to talking with you, you know?
Yeah, no, you're blowing my mind tonight, brother. So going back to that dude, did you say that he used to send people off into the forest and then go and hunt them? That was like something he did.
Yeah,
That
in
is
the United
terrifying.
now check this out. Yeah, this see, and apparently, I mean, there's so many people that come up missing in the United States, and a lot of these people are going, these aliens are eating us. No, they're not. These are humans. And let me explain something, and I'll explain to you why this is happening. So in the United States, I don't know if it's like in the UK, you have Home Depots. in the United States. It's a big, huge home repair, wood and tools and da 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 da.
Hmm.
There's a lot of Hispanic workers that hang out at Home Depot that you can pull up. Dude, I need this done at my house. Can you put in a lawn? Can you fix my fence? Pick them up, take them. That's exactly what this is do. Hey, man, I need you to come do this for me. Here, by the way, do you want a Pepsi? Gives them a Pepsi, drugs them, knocks them out, drives to a national forest, wakes them up, lets them go. Now I'm going to hunt you. He would do it once a year to hunt a human being. I kind of want to say
Bro,
I kind of want to say his name, but I don't want to deal down the road.
where's is he still like free now?
I guess I don't know. I got the hell away from him. I moved
Whoa.
out. I've I've moved out of town because of people I've run across. I mean, I could go on. I could tell you more stories. There's a very, very famous person that doesn't know who I am, but cannot stand me because he got his daughter pregnant and had a former prisoner that didn't care about going back, kill her. And then went and said, "You're such a bad guy. You're such a bad." And this person, when they sentenced him, he said, "Okay, I'm going to do my time. You need to do your time. You need to tell them what you've done." It was major news, famous. And I've had to run in with him. Bad people. That's
Bro,
why I got readings. That's Tommy. That's why I really should be doing it to try to help people. But at this point, they're gone. You can maybe help the family to comfort them, to maybe understand why they disappeared and where they went to. But it was horrible. And it wasn't to make money, you know. I thought it was. I thought I was when they first made contact with me back when I was living in that truck. I thought this is my ticket. I'm out of this truck. I'm going to make money. I'm going to be a psychic. I tried it as a business. Didn't feel right in the heart, man. I felt bad about what I was doing. And it's because I had done that route before and took advantage of people. So this time I do it for free and help people. But anybody, if they want to make money and want to question it, they can pay me. I'll take money. I'm poor. I live paycheck to paycheck, just like an ordinary day to day, paycheck to paycheck check individual, you know? But
mhm.
okay, let's go back to the violence, the killing people. Jeffrey Dahmer, I use him as a good example. Once again, I'm dude that I got to know why is Jeffrey Dahmer, you know,
He
I'm
was a
heterosexual,
he was a scary dude, that man. Like
scary, man.
I watched
Very,
that documentary on Netflix, and wow,
you seen that one on Netflix? That's interesting.
yeah, yeah.
And he was very calm and blasé about what he did. No emotion, no none of this. So I'm thinking, why would a dude do this? I mean, he's having sex with men, which hey, that's commonplace now. Not nothing shocking, unusual. But to take them and to fucking have sex with them when they're dead, try to make a living zombie so he can continue to have sex with this individual. Then he went to cutting them up into pieces and saving souvenirs to eating them. And when he was after he got caught, he said he ate them, and it was certain parts of the thigh and the heart. And the reason he did this was to retain them forever. It's key to this. This is not uncommon with serial killers. They will eat these people and say, "I'm doing this to retain them forever." Okay. So I asked my guides, dude, come on. I cannot wrap my mind around why somebody's going to do this. And they said, okay, there's a very, very good reason. When we first start this reincarnation process, you're going to live 3,000 lives. You need opportunities to be born into lives, to learn lessons. So you will go murder this person, this person, this person, creates a karmic debt. So you got to pay back that debt to this person, this person, this person before you can move certain levels. So he eats this dude, he retains him for life. Then he sees this person, okay, is going to be born into a family of drug addicts. And he could be this person's older sibling where mom and dad are on drugs, they're neglecting the children, but he's got an overbearing need now. He's got to sacrifice his everything that he wants in his life to make sure that this younger sibling survives and has what they need. That pays off the debt. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So basically, it gives them a blueprint to where now you've murdered and ate this person, you paid off the debt. The next life, you may be husband and wife, you may be mother and daughter. So it ascends from hate to love. And it gives us a blueprint. They said when we reach this pinnacle, right now we're at a pinnacle, a technological pinnacle of development, that we've come to a point where we can't continue on. The planet's not going to survive. Intentions, humanity.
Oh, we're frozen.
Yeah,
Sorry, man. We're
okay,
back. We're back.
not a problem. The intentions of humanity upon humanity are horrible. We're in a position where something's got to give. We're not going to fix the planet. It's beyond our capability to fix. People are murdering people. People are eating people. It just becomes so bad. They said this is common, that a lot of baby soul people are born on this planet right now, and they do this Jeffrey Dahmer scenario where they're incurring karmic debt. So once this recycles, resets, they got opportunities to be born into lives. It's going to ascend from hate to love. They said it's a very common natural practice. We're right where we are supposed to be.
Interesting.
It sounds
Wow,
odd,
man.
but they said this is part of how it works. It's like a college. It's like a school. Lives are like clothes.
And
They're
well,
like
it's
lessons of
like
soul.
this is
Our
like a test sort of thing.
test, exactly, Tommy. It's like our soul is aging lifetime by lifetime, like we're aging year by year.
Hmm.
You live a life, a lesson, you incur karmic, you pay that karmic debt back, you incur good karmic, like me. I was a charlatan. I took advantage of people. I lived high off the hog. I had a great life. This life has been rough.
Hmm.
I'm helping for free. I'm paying off this karmic debt. I'm helping with this great awakening. I'm helping them to get out what they want out. It's not about me.
Hmm.
I say this all man on these posts that I do. It ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? It's not about Gary. I mean, I just last podcast I did with the guy, they billed me and they compared me to Nikolai Tesla, fucking Edgar Casey, and Dolores Cannon. They said this dude's like a major player in the Great Awakening, what's going on with these non-human individuals, NHI, non-human intelligence. I've
Hmm.
been compared to amazing people. I'm just not. I mean, Dr. Stephen Greer's got a lot of money behind him. He's a multimillionaire. They're paying him and scripting out everything he's saying. I don't got that behind me, Tommy. I'm just an average dude that works as a security guard. You know, I'm
Well,
a high school drop.
you're listening to your gut, and I really appreciate you sharing it, man. I appreciate you sharing your story, man. It's very
Welcome.
interesting. You've taught me a lot. You've blown my mind tonight, and it's very
I'm here,
interesting.
I'm here for you. Any listeners, anybody that has any questions, wants help, is tripping, having a hard time, I'm here for them.
Hmm.
I'm here for anybody. All they got to do is treat me with respect.
Hmm.
That's all I want. If somebody wants to make money and wants information, they want to pay me, I'd do that too. Don't happen. That's not what I focus on. My
Hmm.
goal, my goal is to help millions of people before I die. That's my goal.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
You know, if I could make money, if I could become a multimillionaire like this Stephen Greer, I got a business idea called Work for Life that helps fix broken lives. Starting with unwed young women that these little boys get them pregnant and bail and leave them with the kid. And all they got is Walmart or 7-Eleven to work at. To get them live in this program, you wake up, you make your breakfast, you brush your teeth, you make your bed, you go into this program, Tough Love. We teach you a trade, nursing, truck driving, this, that, the other. Then you teach them how to buy a home, how to invest, how to do the shit that our school systems don't teach us. And it's just now they're all raised by a TV set. I got goals that I would love to help people. I just don't got the money. I got enough money to cover my bills. I'm comfortable. I got my home, you know?
Well, talking out helps people. That is for sure. What you're doing is helping people. So thank you, man, and thank you for being so open and honest and sharing your experiences, man. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. Gary,
Right.
can you tell the listeners where they can find you if they want to reach out to you and talk to you on a one-on-one or talk to you more? Is there a place that they
Um,
can find you?
yeah, I could send you links. How about that?
Hmm.
But my email is Theo 99 gift, like a Christmas gift at gmail.com. Now I
Awesome,
have a
man.
face I have my own Facebook group. I'll send you a link to my group. I have
Hmm.
a page. I got my posts that I've been doing for the past few years where people can go read what they have to say. And I guess you could put all this in once you edit all this out, correct?
Yeah, I'll add all your links will be in the show description so people can go
Yeah.
right now and they can click your links to wherever you want to, they
Theo
can find
99,
you.
Theo 99 gift. I'm writing a book called The Theoretical Gift: One Foot in Buddhism and One Foot Planted Firmly in Hell. About a hard
Interesting.
life.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person, but yeah, life's been rough. It hasn't been kind up until the last 6 months.
Hmm.
For Christmas, my birthday's in December, Christmas in December. I lost my job. I lost my relationship. I lost everything. But hey, I ended up with a better job. It's hard. I come home in pain every day, and yeah, shit happens.
But you're
62. I don't anticipate it changing until I am done with this.
you're a cool dude though, man. I can tell that. You got some good energy. And yeah,
Well,
just keep listening to your heart, man, and that'll lead you to the right place, I'm sure. But thank you very much, brother. I'd love to talk to you more. I feel like there's more we can talk about. I think we're getting near the 2 hour mark, so we've got to wrap it up
maybe,
now. But you're welcome back anytime, man.
can I say one thing before we go?
Of course.
Appreciate those you love, man, because you never know. It could end tomorrow, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate those that you love and take care of them, man.
That is a powerful message to leave and to finish on. So thank you, brother. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
Guys, thank you for listening. We will be back very soon. Thank you very much to Gary tonight. Really enjoyed the conversation. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, share it where you can. That is a great way to support the show. And we'll be back very soon for more freaky conversations. Gary, thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you, brother.